Can grace heal your past? It's a question that many of us silently ask. St. Mary Magdalene's story offers a powerful answer. Once an outcast, judged and misunderstood, and pushed aside, she discovered a love that transformed her completely. What everyone longs for isn't just attention or approval, because those things, they fade and change. What all of us, really seek is something that's lasting, something more profound, real love, the kind that fills the empty places and brings peace and stays. But many people quietly wonder, does that kind of love even exist? And if it does, would it ever be meant for someone like me? Now, this is the story of someone who carried a past that people didn't forget. She knew what it felt like to be judged, to be overlooked, misunderstood, and even pushed aside. Then she met Jesus. He didn't turn away from her. He welcomed her with peace. Not because she earned it and deserved it, but because she let herself be loved. And that is what changed her. It didn't happen all at once, and it wasn't easy. But that love transformed her life. And let me tell you something, her story might change how those of you that are watching this video, how you see love and what it really means to be free. So, once again, and take out my trusty magnifying glass for us to take a closer look at how real love can change the person from the inside out. There's truth in the old saying, we become who we spend time with. For St. Mary Magdalene, being welcomed into Jesus' inner circle wasn't something that she took lightly. She stayed close, listening and learning. So what happens when we do the same thing? The good news is that the same invitation to friendship and transformation is extended to us also. St. Augustine once described, there are two cities, one built by people who love themselves so much that they forget God, and the other built by people who love God so much that they're willing to forget themselves. So once again, I'm going to grab my magnifying glass to take a closer look at these two cities, because the one we live in shapes everything. At one time, Mary Magdalene lived in that first city, the one built on self-love, where God's voice gets drowned out by pleasure and pride. Like many, she was chasing fulfillment in the wrong places, forgetting the one who created her in the first place. But when she encountered Jesus, everything changed. She left that city behind, and she didn't just visit the second city. She moved into that city, fully, freely, and willingly. Her life became a living witness of what it looks like to love God more than oneself. She poured out everything, her tears, her perfume, her pride, everything. She put everything at his feet. Because when grace found her, she didn't cling to who she had been. She followed divine love even to the foot of the cross. Now, St. Mary Magdalene reminds us that it's never too late to change cities. If grace could change her so completely, what might it do for your life? And here's the truth. Jesus invites you into that same transformation through the gentle, guiding heart of none other than his Blessed Mother. So if you feel ready to open your heart to that love, to let it change you from the inside out, I make an invitation to you, for you to make your consecration to Jesus through Mary today, and let our Blessed Mother lead you closer to her Son Jesus, to help you live in that second city, a city built on love, selflessness, and true peace. It's a simple act of trust that can start a lifelong journey of peace and freedom. When you entrust yourself to our Blessed Mother, you're asking her to guide you, to protect you, to teach you to live with courage in a world that often pulls us in the opposite direction. It's a simple act of trust, but it's the kind of trust that opens the door to a lifelong journey of freedom, joy, peace that nothing else can give us. No matter where you've been, no matter what your past looks like, this invitation is for you. And it's never too late to say yes. So I'm going to leave a link in the description of this video for the consecration. It's totally free. Now, after Mary's conversion, she faithfully followed Jesus through his public ministry, sitting at his feet, waiting for him, thinking only of him. Her heart belonged completely to her Redeemer. She traveled alongside Jesus and the disciples, generously supporting their ministry with her resources. We all know she came from a very good family. So far from being a passive follower, she was actively involved, witnessing countless teachings, miracles, and quiet moments that few others ever saw. Over time, she became one of Jesus' closest friends. 3 years at his side changed everything. The love she received from him transformed her from the inside out, and it showed. Her very presence radiated joy, the kind that comes from finally knowing what it means to be truly loved. Mary couldn't do enough for the one who had loved her with a love more pure and more powerful than she had ever known. While unfortunately most of the disciples fled in fear during our Lord's Passion, she didn't. She stayed. She remained close through every moment, standing at the foot of the cross alongside his Blessed Mother. After Jesus took his last breath, Mary stayed with his lifeless body, helping our Blessed Mother tenderly prepare him for burial. She only left the tomb because of the danger of being out at night, but she couldn't stay away from the tomb for very long. Before dawn even broke the next day, she returned to the tomb, only to find the stone had been rolled away. She ran right away to tell St. Peter and St. John. They hurried to the empty tomb and discovered that the body was missing, and they returned home. But Mary Magdalene remained there in tears. As she wept, she bent over to look into the tomb. And what did she see? She saw 2 angels sitting there, sitting where the body of Jesus had been laid. And they asked her, why are you crying? All that she could say was, "They have taken away my Lord, and I do not know where they have laid him." Even when Jesus himself appeared before her, she didn't recognize him until he said her name, Mary. At that moment, everything changed. Her soul leapt with joy. He chose to appear to her before any of the apostles. He entrusted her with the remarkable mission of proclaiming his resurrection for the very first time in history. She was the first herald of Easter morning and became known as the Apostle of the Apostles, a title given to her by St. Thomas Aquinas. St. Mary Magdalene's story shows us what happens when we stay close to Jesus. Friendship with him transforms everything, absolutely everything. It gave her courage in the face of fear, hope in the face of death, and love that endured beyond the grave. Mary had once lived a life built on self-love and false promise. But when she met Jesus, she left all that behind. She didn't just visit a new life. She moved in fully, freely, and forever. What might change in your life if you chose to stay close to Jesus, especially when it's hard? Are you standing near the cross or keeping your distance? St. Mary Magdalene consoled Our Lady's sorrowful heart and Jesus' sacred heart at the foot of the cross. The poor, broken sinner who housed 7 demons became transformed into an angelic adorer of our Lord's heart. She was known for contemplating everything Jesus said, just like that instance when she chose the better part over her sister Martha. By sitting at Jesus' feet and listening intently whenever he visited their home. Now, tradition tells us that around the year 41 AD, Mary was exiled from Jerusalem with her brother and sister, Lazarus and Martha, and along with a group of several other Christians. And they were put in a boat, cast adrift at sea, which led them to what is now known as France. There, Mary spent the rest of her life in prayer and contemplation, in a grotto that was halfway up, more or less, the mountain of the Saint-Baume. According to local tradition, she eventually lived on nothing but the Holy Eucharist and died in a state of Eucharistic ecstasy after receiving Holy Communion for the last time. St. Mary Magdalene reminds us, all of us, it's never too late to change direction. It's never too late to change cities. Her courage, loyalty, and love made her one of the few who witnessed both Jesus' suffering and his triumph. Now, her story is proof that grace doesn't just fix the past, it lays the foundation for a beautiful new beginning. St. Mary Magdalene's life became, you could say, a testimony to what love can do. Her past didn't disqualify her. It prepared her, because the one who knows what darkness feels like is often the one most ready to run towards the light and tell the world, the whole world, what they've seen. Now, just like St. Mary Magdalene, you, all of you, are invited to step closer, to let love transform you from the inside. What step will you take today? Watch this next video to see how that one look, that moment of grace, broke through Mary Magdalene's pride and awakened her soul to begin a journey from darkness into light. Her story shows that no past is beyond the reach of mercy, and that grace can rewrite any past and lead it to true freedom. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope to see you in the next one. God bless and Salve Maria.